It was very early in the morning when the town square trembled long before anyone saw the riders. First came the horn, a deep metallic blast that made the birds scatter from the rooftops. Then the vibration of hooves rolling through the cobblestones. People froze. Merchants stopped mid-sentence. Children ran to doorways. Everyone knew what that sound meant. Emissaries of the Black Regent. They emerged through the northern gate in a tight formation. 8 riders in dark lacquered armor, their helmets shaped like snarling beasts. But the one leading them was unmistakable. A massive warrior with one eye sewn shut, the mark of a man who had survived punishments meant to kill lesser men. His presence felt like a shadow sweeping over the plaza. Even the guards lowered their gaze. The riders tore through the square, scattering people like wind scatters dry leaves. Some fled, others hid behind carts. Within seconds, the square was empty, except me. I stood there like a fool, clutching my empty coin pouch, no reason to stay, no reason to leave, just stuck between survival and starvation. The one-eyed emissary dismounted. The others remained mounted, silent statues. He reached into his saddlebag and pulled out a black velvet pouch, sealed with the Regent's sigil. He raised it for all to see.
The Black Regent seeks a caretaker. 5 crowns of silver per month.
Murmurs rippled through the cracks of windows and behind shutters.
Caretaker? For what?
Nothing the Regent paid for ever ended well.
People vanished deeper into their homes. Within moments, I was the only soul still in the open. The emissary turned to me.
Why don't you run like the rest?
I swallowed.
Because I haven't worked in a year. My mother hasn't stood up from her bed since the winter sickness. 5 crowns is 5 crowns.
For a moment, just a flicker, the man respected my honesty. He tossed the heavy pouch toward me. I caught it with both hands. Then he handed me a sealed scroll.
Report to the Frosthold Guard post within 5 days. They will explain the rest.
I hesitated.
What? What kind of caretaker?
He turned, mounted his horse, and before riding off, he answered without looking back.
The kind that feeds the Regent's possession in the frozen heights. The kind that eats fresh meat every 3 days. Don't be late. It doesn't like waiting.
And like that, they were gone, leaving me alone in the silent square with a bag of silver and a decision that already felt like regret. I returned home with the coins. My mother lay on her straw pallet, back to the door, thin as a shadow. She didn't move when I entered.
Look, Mother. The Regent's seal.
Mavo, what does it say?
I got a new job, Mama. I was the only one brave enough to face the Black Regent's men at the town square.
She turned, eyes hollow, lifeless like the winter moon. That spark, that tiny bit of hope she had, died instantly. She grabbed my wrist, her fingers cold and bony but gripping like iron.
Mako, when they pay you in advance, it is because they do not expect you to return.
Her voice cracked, her breath shook.
I dreamed of crows at the window last night. That's a bad omen. Please do not go, my son.
I set 3 coins beside her. They clinked against the wood, the sound of desperation wearing the mask of duty. I kissed her forehead, cold as stone.
Don't even think of dying before me. Make sure you come back to your mama.
She said behind me, not a plea, a command. I didn't look back, because if I did, I wouldn't leave. 4 days later, I reached Frosthold. The journey was misery carved into mountains. 2 days on a creaking merchant cart. 1 day by river barge, 1 day behind an ox cart driven by a man with no tongue. By the time we arrived at dusk, the world was nothing but snow, stone and wind, sharp enough to peel skin. Frosthold rose from the mountain like a giant black spearhead, all jagged angles and cold iron. 2 guards blocked my path, spears crossed. I handed them the sealed scroll. One read it, looked at me, grunted.
He is the new caretaker. Grant him passage,
He said, not a question. I asked,
What happened to the last caretaker?
He left. Ran barefoot down the mountain in the middle of the night. Froze to death 2 days later.
A terrible silence followed. The first guard unrolled a torn map and pointed at a narrow path rising into a wall of fog.
Climb 2 hours. You'll see the camp. The prison is carved into the rock.
The path ahead waited, cold, narrow, merciless. A place where mistakes didn't bruise, they killed. The path became a nightmare. The fog swallowed everything except the next 2 steps. The wind screamed through the cliffs. To my right, a wall of jagged rock. To my left, nothing but white emptiness. The mountain didn't want me there. Halfway up, I came to a rotting rope bridge, swinging violently over a ravine too deep to see. There was no other choice. Step, creak, step. A plank snapped under my boot. My leg plunged into the void. The only thing that saved me were the frayed ropes digging into my burning palms. I dragged myself forward, heart hammering, breath shaking. When I reached solid ground, I collapsed to my knees. But the path climbed higher, snow, ice, exhaustion. And then, through the fog, I saw it, a flickering campfire, a torn tent, a wooden bucket, and beside it, a man, old, hollow-eyed, skin like dry parchment, beard tangled and grey. He looked at me without speaking. "You're the caretaker before me?" I asked. He nodded, slow, painful. "You can leave now," I said, gesturing to the path. He didn't move. "What am I guarding?" He didn't answer. Instead, he lifted a dried piece of meat from a bucket.
Give it one of these, once a day, at dawn. Leave it by the bars. Do not get close.
What is it?
I whispered. He finally looked at the prison. A black iron gate sunk into the mountain, chains threaded through the bars.
It belongs to the Black Regent. Speak of it, and they will hang your mother and anyone you know.
He rolled up his sleeves. 4 deep claw marks ran from shoulder to wrist, old, but carved into him forever.
One more thing. Don't look it in the eyes.
But... Why?
My breath trembled.
Because they are beautiful. Beautiful enough to freeze your soul. Beautiful enough to make you forget to run.
A pause.
That's when it attacked me.
He grabbed his sack and fled down the trail like a hunted animal, leaving me alone with a dying fire, a bucket of dried meat, a mountain that hated me, and something breathing behind iron bars. Something that wasn't animal, but wasn't human either. The fire crackled weakly. Every shadow moved like it had a heartbeat. Then I heard it, chains, dragging, slowly, followed by a soft sound, claws, scraping stone, rhythmic, deliberate. My blood went cold. I approached the prison, holding the dried meat with trembling hands. I stepped closer, closer. The darkness behind the bars shifted. Something moved, something watching. I dropped the meat and stepped back. But before I could retreat fully, I saw them. 2 faint green lights inside the darkness. Eyes, glowing, unblinking. And then they blinked. I stumbled back to the fire, heart slamming against my ribs. The eyes didn't follow, not yet. But I knew one thing. Whatever lived inside that prison wasn't a beast. It was something far more dangerous and far more intelligent.